it's always nice to take a closer look at the luxurious lives of billionaires. But even more so when they're billionaires from the 28th poorest country in the world, Zimbabwe. From hotel moguls to religious leaders, we'll meet some of the most interesting personalities in this country and get an inside look at their ultra-fancy lifestyles. Let's dive deep. First up is Philip Shinyagwa, the politician with a net worth of over $1.2 billion. This guy loves showing off his collection of fancy cars and his taste in real estate. He even gives tours of his mansion in the village, complete with hot tubs, a pool, and a magnificent winding staircase that leads to the 3 stories. He's got 6 bedrooms, a home gym, and a 14-seat movie theater. When it comes to automobiles, Philip doesn't play around. He's not shy about flaunting his fleet of fancy rides in the slightest. His car collection's worth could easily finance a small-scale space mission with some funds left to spare. Let me break that down for you. He's got a Hummer H2 worth $24,000. Then there's his Mercedes-Benz S600 B12, his Chrysler CROSSFIRE, which is worth more than most people's life savings, his Range Rover Vogue, his Rolls-Royce Phantom, and lastly, his Maybach GLS 600. And if there's anything else you need to know about Philip, it's that he's a football fanatic. He's been pouring money into the sport his whole life, and he even managed to become the head honcho of the Zimbabwe Football Association, ZIFA. But as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. Well, in his case, it comes with great controversy, because boy did he rack up some scandals as ZIFA's top dog. First off, he got the boot from the World Cup for not paying the coaching staff. I guess he thought he could just throw a football and some cash at them and call it a day. Then there was the rampant mismanagement that led to board resignations left and right. So much for a well-functioning organization, huh? He's also been accused of embezzling over $2 million from ZIFA. One can assume that he really wanted to keep that trophy room stocked with gold-plated footballs. Needless to say, ZIFA wasn't too pleased with all of these shenanigans and gave him the good old lifetime ban treatment. It's a good thing he can still watch the games from the comfort of his couch though, where the only thing he can mismanage is the TV remote. Another billionaire on our list is Shingi Monyeza. Shingi made his fortune as the big boss of African Sun, a hospitality management company, caking $2 billion. But this guy's not your typical ballin' out-of-control billionaire. Nope. Instead of living it up in a mansion with a pet tiger, we're totally looking at you, Mike Tyson. Shingi decided to take a different path in life. He left his cushy job at African Sun to become a religious leader at Faith Ministries Church. He even invested in sustainable youth programs in disadvantaged communities, proving that he's not just all talk and no action. Unfortunately, Shingi's perfect image came crashing down when his daughter spilled the tea online. It turns out he wasn't exactly the poster child for role model behavior and fidelity after all, having confessed to cheating on his wife with at least 5 women. Even though he gave up the billionaire lifestyle to focus on his church, the controversy was too much for him to handle. He had to step down from his position in January 2021. Looks like even the most devout religious leaders can't escape scandals these days. Maybe he should have invested some of that fortune in a good PR team. Up next is Strive Maziwaya. Check out this London-based billionaire from Zimbabwe, the richest man to ever emerge from the country. With a net worth of around $2 billion, it's safe to say he's got more money than he knows what to do with. But fear not, this billionaire knows how to spend his cash like a true pro. And by pro, we mean a property pro. This guy's got a real eye for real estate, as evidenced by his penthouse pad in the El Dorado Towers in New York City. The penthouse of your dreams, complete with a creamy white color scheme that's smoother than a fresh jar of peanut butter. Strive's living the high life on the top 2 floors of the 29-story tower, featuring 5 bedrooms at a price tag of around $29 million. The black windows and hardwood floors add just the right amount of contrast to create a space that's both sleek and sophisticated. And this isn't just any ordinary penthouse. This aesthetic carries through to the living areas, kitchen, and even the bedrooms. And that's not all. This property's terrace is the real MVP, showcasing exposed brickwork, greenery galore, and a pretty view of the city. And you know this place is legit because it was previously owned by some serious celebs, Moby, Alec Baldwin, and Michael J. Fox. But despite being originally from Zimbabwe, Strive is not exactly a regular there these days. You see, after a little legal drama trying to get his company, EcoNet, up and running, he was basically given the boot and had to flee the nation. But don't worry, he's still got a little piece of home sweet home in the form of a $610,000 house for those rare occasions when he's feeling a little nostalgic. The home features modern architecture and shows off 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, a swimming pool, a tennis court and a landscape garden. The property sits on a large plot of land and offers stunning views of the surrounding countryside. Yeah, as the saying goes, you can take the billionaire out of Zimbabwe, but you can't take Zimbabwe out of the billionaire. Nowadays, Strive's living it up in the United Kingdom. He's got quite the pad there, a real stunner of a London mansion, worth around $6 million. It's the perfect fit for a man of his stature, since he's practically dripping in success. The estate is super massive with a fabulous stonework that yells out, "I'm filthy rich and I know it." We haven't been invited for a full tour yet, but we can only imagine that the stone theme continues throughout the entire house. Now let's talk about his car collection. But hold up, it's not exactly what you're expecting. So you know how most tycoons would have a garage filled with fancy sport cars? Well, not our boy Strive. He's not into that whole bling bling, look at my fleet of supercars thing. No, he's a man of simple taste. He only owns 2 cars. That's right, just 2. But these aren't just any old clunkers. He's got a Jag and a Lexus, so he's not exactly slumming it. And get this, he's not even planning on buying any more cars. It's both shocking and refreshing to see a billionaire who's not all about material possessions. Even with a mansion worth millions and more money than we can even fathom, he doesn't feel compelled to drive around in a flashy sports car like some kind of Formula 1 driver. So kudos to you, Strive. You may be a billionaire, but you're definitely keeping it real with your 2 trusty rides. His UK ride is a Jaguar F-Type SVR, and let me tell you, it's a real beauty. It's worth around $45,000 and can go from 0 to 60 in a mere 3.5 seconds, with a top speed of 186 miles per hour. And back in South Africa, he's cruising around in a Lexus LS500. This car is worth upwards of $62,000 and can hit speeds of 136 miles per hour. It's not quite as speedy as the Jag, but it still manages to go from 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds. Not too shabby if you ask us. He might not have multiple luxury cars, but he does have a private jet to make up for it. When you're a billionaire, flying commercial just won't do. Strive's private jet is a real doozy, a limited edition Bombardier Challenger 850, one of the most luxurious and expensive private jets out there. This jet can seat up to 19 people and comes equipped with a kitchen, living room, and multiple fancy bathrooms. And how much does it cost? It's a shocking $35 million. But with his lifestyle, how else would you go to your mansion in the UK? From your lavish Zimbabwean estate? American Airlines? No. In other news, apparently Strive is a serious bookworm. According to reports, he spends most of his free time with his nose buried in a good book. Yep, while other billionaires are out there buying private islands and designer clothing, Strive is often chilling in his own personal library. This guy's book collection is worth a pretty penny, over $40,000 to be exact, and his favorite type of book is, of course, business. But don't be fooled. He's not just reading books on corporate jargon and management theories. No, Strive is taking it old school. When asked about his favorite book on business, he didn't mention anything by Warren Buffett or Richard Branson. Nope, his all-time favorite business book is the Bible. Yup, the same book you might find on a hotel room nightstand. According to him, the Bible has everything you need to learn how to set up and manage a business effectively. Strive isn't just a successful businessman. He's also a philanthropic superhero. He's just like Bruce Wayne, but instead of a Batmobile, he has a private jet. And instead of fighting crime, he's fighting environmental issues and health crisis. He's using his fortune to build a better Africa for the future. So move over, Batman. We've got a new hero in town. Strive's foundation provides a ton of scholarships, over 250,000 of them. Seriously. And if that wasn't enough, he's also supporting over 40,000 orphans through educational initiatives. This guy's a walking, talking charity machine. With all the money he's invested in scholarships and educational initiatives, he's like the Oprah of Africa, dishing out scholarships instead of cars. Strive's philanthropy goes far beyond education. He's invested millions into various initiatives that benefit communities across Africa. The Carbon War Room sounds like a battle royal between eco-warriors, and Strive is leading the charge. And let's not forget his work in the medical field. During the pandemic, he didn't just sit back and watch. He rolled up his sleeves and doubled the wages of doctors in Zimbabwe. It's safe to say that Strive Maziyiwa is not just a billionaire. He's a force for good, and he's changing his version of Gotham, one philanthropic endeavor at a time. Want more episodes like this one? Then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like and subscribe button so you'll never miss out what's coming your way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.